365 Days of Horsemanship, day 341. Really amazing day today. Really like one of those golden window days where, I don't know, the energy just felt really good. Excuse me, the connection just felt really good. I have been away for almost a week in Poland, just getting some stuff together for the wedding. And it's like a bunch of other stuff sorted out as well. And basically, yeah, then came back, worked a 12-hour shift today. And yeah, just really wanted to come back and see the horses. And that was just lovely to begin with. You know, obviously I've missed them because I've been away for a few days. And so obviously that motivation is really there. And it was really just heartwarming and soul warming to connect. And like thinking about the meaning of the word connection and the feeling of the word connection, I think just this idea of, like, I came to Mia first and I actually kind of startled her awake by accident. Just as I was walking down the hill, they were all sleeping and I guess they weren't really expecting me. I haven't been up this late in quite some time. And yeah, so she's like, oh, better get up. And she kind of took some time, like, excuse me, getting in closer. And it was just really nice to have a conversation with her. Like, I really appreciated the idea that, like, I can just turn up and just be like, hey, how you doing? And she's like, hey, I'm doing blah. And, like, just have things to tell me. Like, I just really appreciated that. I think I definitely felt very, like, welcome in her space. And I really appreciated that. And I also just think, like, there are just a few lovely little interactions, and I just really was in a place where I just wanted to relax and, like, let things flow between us. And I just didn't really have any, like, any expectations. And I think also, like, allowing myself to just follow my intuition and follow my thought process. Like she had a plait in the front of her mane and in her forelock, and she doesn't normally have one of those, but I know that her plaits have been done by someone else this week. And like this, I didn't mind her having a plait in her forelock or not, like whatever. But like one of the first things she came and told me was like, this is really annoying. And I think I would have on other occasions like second guessed myself, or like not like made myself doubt myself by like thinking too long about that thought and then giving myself a justification for then not doing that, for then not doing anything about it. But instead I was just like, she's like kind of giving me body language feedback that's making me think that maybe she's not so keen on this. So I just took it out, and there was this like real sense of just brightness from her ears then that there wasn't before. And that was just really nice to feel like, don't know, that there had been some kind of positive feedback from that. Excuse me. And yeah, just like at one point she like kind of started coming towards me with energy, and I was kind of like running backwards, and she was kind of like not trotting, but like there was like this energy where she was like, yeah, I'll walk with you for a couple of steps. And like, I don't know, it was just really lovely. Like, it just felt like a really nice, like, catch up. It's like, hey, how you doing? How you been? How was your week? Like, mine was good. How was yours? Oh, you have, like, some itch here? Yeah, let me get that for you. Like, oh, you know, how you feeling? Like, how's it here? And how's it here? And just, like, yeah, I don't know, just, like, getting to be in all those different places around her again and just, like, just flow, you know? And it really felt very fluid. It felt very, I wasn't like intensely, like scientifically looking for every little piece. It was just like very relaxed, easygoing. We're going here, we're going there. And I just felt this like depth of relationship, depth of opportunity. Like I feel really excited, optimistic, rejuvenated about coming tomorrow, knowing that I'm on a night shift tomorrow, so I've got a little bit of time in the day. I'll be able to come up and, you know, just really spend some time. And I feel like based on the energy of tonight, I feel like there's a really good chance that I'm going to turn up tomorrow and there's going to be like more in the bank. I feel like there's space. I feel like there's like keenness. I feel like there's this desire to be around me and that's really exciting because that's like something to work with, you know, like now I've got that little piece. It's like, oh yeah, like what can we do with this? Like, shall we try something new? Shall we try some challenge? So we do something fun together. Like, I'll be really interested to ride her this week for sure, to see how she is. I know that she's been doing a couple of bits and pieces while I've been away, and I'm really interested to see what the feedback I get from her is on that stuff. And so yeah, it was just really nice. It just felt really nice to feel welcomed and to feel that sense of being wanted. Was just really nice. And maybe that is ultimately a definition and a meaning for connection is that feeling of being belonging, you know, that feeling of belonging, that feeling of being wanted, that feeling of being important within a relationship. And I think that's something that fundamentally is part of our safety, right? Like as animals, we're hardwired to seek a pack, a tribe, some sort of collective, because that keeps us safe, because it's safety in numbers, right? And so, you know, this desire to feel connected, to feel important, to feel something, it comes from, you know, a very pure and very deep desire to feel safe. And it was lovely to have that feeling today with Mia, and with Lawrence. I had a really beautiful session, actually. Lots of stroking, lots of kind of like, yeah, I don't know, a little bit of scratching, but the scratching, even though I did allow it, like I came in quite early on and I kind of was like trying to make it really playful. Like I understood that he was trying to push for scratches, but I also wanted to kind of like respond in a more playful, like more pushback way, that just was really like, oh my god, I would love to like come in really close and snuggle with you too, like that would be so fun, and just like get him thinking like, oh, hang on a minute, like and then I did then quite quickly then offer him the scratches, because I felt him kind of like freeze up thinking about like what his next move is going to be. And I decided to kind of take that really early instead of trying to wait for it to get better, and just like offer him the scratches. And he was like, too much. And so then I started just stroking him, and that was really a beautiful moment, because I felt like I was like stroking him all over, and he was just like, oh, that's so nice. And I think there was this idea in his mind that like he was wanting the scratches, but then I think what he got was actually better for him than the scratches, and he felt more like sort of satisfied by it. And that was really nice to feel like that I've been able to like be at the touching distance and be supportive, and yeah, it was just interesting. Then I did a little bit of kind of like match and mirror and like further it, like he was really interested in something in the distance, and we had a nice little moment of me being able to move a little bit towards it, and then him kind of moving a little bit with me, and then eating some grass, and then looking up again, and me looking up and moving forward. And then I decided I would try like freezing just in that spot and like looking at that thing and seeing like what would happen. And eventually he came to knock me out of my freeze. And that was really cool to me, because that was like, I was really just happy to feel like that we were just in this conversation, and he was just like, hey, don't stare at one thing for too long, change your focus. Like that was really cool. And then I tried something new and fun, which was really interesting. I don't know, I just was flowing with ideas and just being curious and experimental, which was really lovely, like allowing myself to just be like intrinsically curious, like try a new thing, like when I get bored, just try something else, but like just easy flow. Like I'm not like trying to achieve something, I'm just like, oh, what if I do this? What if I do this? What if I do this? And so I like knelt down on the ground next to him, and I ended up kind of like mirroring him literally like on all fours, like hands and knees. that was a really interesting experience, like kind of being at his level, like being able to look around at stuff, like noticing the way that he holds his body a bit more, like, and that was really interesting. And there was a lot of deep breaths from him, a lot of sighing while I was doing that. And that was definitely something that was really interesting that I definitely would love to spend some more time experimenting with, because I feel like there's going to be definitely some room in that for me to understand how he moves better, and then also understand how I can move better, and what kinds of changes I might want to help him think about. So like, you know, for example, like if I notice that he's often tucking his right hind leg underneath him, and that kind of is putting him off balance a little bit, like that might be one of the first things I work on, is like, oh, hey, did you notice, like just helping him to notice, like, oh, hey, did you notice that your right foot is here? Did you notice? And like just seeing if by drawing his attention to that area, like he'll make the decision to move it to a place that is going to be more balanced for him. But I think it's also going to be about like knowing which spots those are and like having that information. So yeah, it was a really beautiful session. Like I really enjoyed it. And I actually I'm actually kind of looking forward to the autumn, which is funny. Like normally I'm such a summer girl. But actually I'm really looking forward to the dark nights. I think, I don't know, there's something about being up here once it's dark for me that just kind of feels endless. Like I feel like I have all the time in the world, whereas I feel like when it's daylight, there's this like pressure somehow. Maybe it's like pressure to achieve, or like pressure to finish before the sun goes down or something, whereas like once I'm here after the sun is gone, I'm like, well, it's already dark, whatever, like I can stay as long as I want. I don't know, I just have that like kind of sense of maybe freedom a little bit more, I don't know. But I had a really lovely session today. I'm really happy to be back home, and yeah, really grateful to have had such a nice time with them today.